Good morning, everybody. Thank you guys for being so patient. I had to change up my camera settings at the last minute. So right now I've got it set up so I have my iPad camera shooting down at the paper that we're going to be drawing on today. So I hope you guys are all ready to draw. I know some of you I saw in the chat are going to be drawing on your tablet. You can draw on your tablet. You can draw with paper and pencil. You can draw like what I'm going to do with a quill and ink and watercolors. So if you have those, great, and if you don't, no worries too. Now, for those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are coming back, welcome back. I like to start off each class with a question. So the question for today is, what is a quality that you have that you value? I think I would start off with I'm really good at talking to people. I was talking to some new people last night, and it was a lot of fun, and yeah, and something I feel like I'm pretty good at, and I've been able to use it in a couple of jobs. So I'm interested to hear what you guys are good at and what qualities that you value in you. Now, today's morning game plan, which is what we do, where I run through everything that we're going to do in class. We're going to stretch it a little bit later, so we're going to go until 11:30, so we get the full hour. So if you can stay until then, great. If you can't, hopefully you can watch it later. We usually start with our art review, which is where we look at the art that we did last episode, and we see any submissions that you guys send me in, and then we also check out the art that I did for last episode as well, and we kind of talk about that. Then we move on to the quote of the day, and for the quote of the day, it's like a quote that's supposed to inspire us to draw, to be creative, to get us into a good headspace for drawing, which leads us into our next section, which is the morning mindfulness, which is where we take a second to just breathe and feel our emotions that we're feeling and make sure that we're all good to go to draw, because one of the worst things you can do is have some unresolved feelings going on and not be aware of them. And so you just take it out on the art and you get frustrated with your art instead of being able to express it through the art. And let's see. And then right after that, we do our 2 drawing icons. So I picked 2 different icons that kind of symbolize what we're going to draw as a hint for you guys to guess what we're going to draw. And between those 2, we take a karate break just to make sure we keep our bodies and our minds loose, so that when we're drawing, we don't get too stiff and like hunched over our drawings, because that could be bad. So it's always good to get up and walk around a little bit in between drawing, even if you don't do karate. Then we have our second drawing icon, and then I give you guys the challenge of the day, and we check to see if we have any morning mail, and then we say our goodbyes, and I'll tell you what we're going to be doing next episode as well. All right, let's jump right into it. So the last episode is really cool. We did Annie, Orphan Annie from Broadway, and from like the movie and from the poem and from we just kind of went back and back and back to where it was actually originally from. On the left right here, this is the one that I drew. I drew the 2014, I think we said she was from. We drew her in the cartoon form, and then Hadassah did a really cool drawing of her as like a future one. So it's like not even just 2014, but even future than that. So that was really cool, and I love the details that Hadassah did with the shading, and then also the details on the skirt. They look really cool, very futuristic-y. Do we think we might go back to like medieval armor almost? Is that what that is a little bit? I feel like we've been pulling back from like retro styles recently, and so maybe we'll just keep on going back to like medieval times. That'd be kind of cool. If you guys have any art that you'd like to submit, you can share it with me at noahfontana@gmail.com or at teacher.noah. And our artist for today is Charlie Mackesy. I think this is Hadassah's request as well. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me and see me in the chat, right? I don't think I've heard anything since then, so I just wanted to make sure we're still good. All right, now Charlie Mackesy is a really great author and illustrator who came up with the book The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, which I have right here, which is really cool. I'm going to show you some illustrations in a second. And Charlie, it's probably what he's most well known for, and it's about the four of them actually, going through life and just kind of doing what they do and having like deep conversations with each other. Okay, great. I'm glad you guys can see me. Cool. Now, he's really good at like turning a phrase, and so one of the great quotes that I liked from it was, "Do you have any advice?" asked the boy. And the horse says, "Don't measure how valuable you are by the way you are treated," said the horse. And this is just one of many amazing quotes he has in the story, just about life and about love and about friendship. And I really like this one. And so I'm going to use it for our morning mindfulness. Now, as we take a moment to breathe, I invite you to imagine you're meeting yourself and imagine you are wrapping your arms around yourself to give yourself a big, warm hug. Now, the golden rule of treating each other as how we want to be treated is great and works great when people aren't selfish, when people actually love themselves. But unfortunately, as you've probably found out in your life, that's not always the case. Sometimes people forget the golden rule. Sometimes they just are selfish. Sometimes they treat you poorly because they've been treated poorly and they treat themselves poorly. So that's why it's so important that what the horse said in Charlie's book about valuing yourself and by not by how you're treated, especially as an artist. So many artists would have quit if they had listened to some negative people and how those people valued their art. I can think of most famous artists, I think, were not valued in their time. I know Picasso, I believe, didn't sell a lot of stuff. I know Van Gogh struggled a lot as an artist, and a lot of them really weren't as famous as they are now. And that was probably really tough on them. And from the letters that we can read that they've sent in like Van Gogh's letters, it was really a big struggle for him as well. So as we move on to the next portion of class, I invite you to take this opportunity to remember to tell yourself that you value you and the art that you create. So right now, let's all just say it right now. I value myself and I value the art that I create. And that could be just one thing that we value about ourselves. Now, we're going to start off with some inking. So let me switch. Here we go. Here's my... Oh no, hold on a second. I think the camera died. Well, it turned off. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's see how this looks. You see my hand? All right, great. And let me flip this over. And one more flip should do it. Okay. Cool. Okay. All right, so here's my piece of paper that we're going to be drawing on. I'm holding it right here. Here's it on the table. Try not to bump it so that it doesn't move anywhere. And what we're going to do is I wanted to show you guys the artwork of Charlie Mackesy because it's really great. And, oh, okay. It's really trying to move here. Okay, sorry about that. Usually the phone works. Today the phone was not working. and so now I'm having to balance my iPad on my lamp. Let's see. Okay, cool. All right, now let me make the screen nice and big. Okay, so here's the book. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. And a friend got me this book because it reminded her of the style that I used to draw in with watercolors. And it's really cool. You could see here. And it says, "This book is dedicated to my lovely, kind mom and my wonderful dog, Dill," which is great for a Mother's Day thing. And hopefully what we're drawing today, we can maybe use as a Mother's Day gift. And so if you look, he's got these great illustrative but yet really artistic drawings. And artistic meaning they're not perfect. They're like fluid, they're flowy, and the watercolors kind of bleed in together. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to draw myself as if I'm one of these characters. And what's fun too is that he experiments with lots of different styles too. So, I mean, he's got pictures like this. He's got when you're feeling like you're in a storm, and he really does it well. You can see. And it's really cool. So, what we're going to do is I have my box. This is a Fontana fountain cigar box that I've found. And I have all my art supplies in here. So, some of the things I have in here are mechanical pencils, which I'm going to use to sketch out the picture first. I also have my watercolor brushes, which I'm going to use later. And I have a quill holder. And of course my dirty rag that I'm going to be able to use to dab the quill. Some Winsor Newton ink, like that. There we go. This is a great ink style. And let's see. Oh, also Winsor Newton watercolors. And I keep all my nibs in this little box. So let's pick a good one. I think this is a really good one. So here. This is what the nib looks like. Let me get my face out of the way. There we go. And it's curved, and you'll see how I use it. Okay, in just a second. So, right here. Stick it in. I'm going to put these other nibs. Now this is actually how I used to draw in college. All right, let's see. Now before we get to the nibs, I'm going to quick do a sketch. Let's see, of me holding Slider, who's actually sleeping at my feet right now. He's just chilling. Okay, let's see what we got. And what I like is like the shapes. He doesn't really always draw faces. He kind of just, I think I'm going to do like a cover spot, kind of like this guy has right here, where it's the boy holding the mole, because I definitely have done that with Slider before. Okay, let's put this guy right here. And he lets the lines be very loose and fun. don't think I'm going to show my eyes either. Just so that we can, so that it comes across as the same as the book, kind of the same style. Slider's getting so big, he's like really heavy to carry these days. You guys want to see Slider? Hold on. Let's see. Hey, buddy. This is him. So this is us going to be doing that pose. Here we go. Just like this. When he doesn't hide in his shell, though. There he is. All right, I'll let you go back to sleeping on the floor. Okay. If I don't take him out and let him sleep on the floor or crawl around, a lot of the times he will just like scratch the tank and try to get out. And I think sometimes he just likes to be around people. All right, let's see. I know, right? He's almost gonna be moving outside soon. I just have to make him like an outside hut with a light. Yeah. All right. So that's pretty good for the sketch. You know what? Let me try that. There we go. Is that better lighting? Hopefully you guys can see it a little bit better. All right, now we're going to use the quill finder. All right. This used to be my favorite thing to draw in college, using a quill. But this is like really giving me like a pink look to it. Let's see if that helps. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay. So what you do is you literally just, let me see, where's the camera? Right here. We're gonna dip this in. It's right about here. You guys can see it better on this camera. So we have a little bit of ink on there. And that should allow us to draw. Yep, see? Sometimes it takes a couple like tries to get the flow going, but once you get it, it's really fun. And you can use this side. You can press down harder and it gets thicker. All right, we're gonna try to keep it pretty flowy though, because that's how Charlie Mackesy does it. All right. Noah, you said in the group chat, the other Noah, you said that you actually got some quills to try to use. Is that true? Let's see. I'm trying to get a lot of different consistency in my line. And that means like the line quality changes a lot. So that means I'm going to push down a little bit harder in some areas and a little bit less harder in other areas. And that's something I don't see a lot of new artists do. I feel like they kind of keep their lines all the same. So we don't want to look. We don't want to have that kind of effect. Not the ink and quilt. The sound of the ink on the paper is so satisfying. Not the ink, the quill. I'm glad you guys can hear it. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big part of it for sure. It's crazy. Remember when I showed my cousin these? He tried drawing and he was like, "Oh my goodness!" He was like, "This is so hard to." Like, this is so hard to write with, because it does. I've definitely practiced with these a lot. So, if this looks easy at all, it's because I did most of my college art projects with a quill and ink, and like watercolors. But no, typically it takes a while to get used to, especially the dipping. That's kind of a weird thing to have to do. But yeah, he was very surprised that it took. Like that, this is how people like used to write papers, like the Declaration of Independence and stuff. I think it was probably written right with quill and ink, if I'm not mistaken. You guys would probably know that. You guys always know stuff like that. Can you please post this after on your channel? The video or the drawing? I mean, I'll post both actually. So either way, you'll see it up. I'm gonna post this drawing probably on my Instagram though, and this video will stay up on YouTube. Do you have to leave now? Is that why? Is it almost time? Yep, both will be up. Okay, let's trust that face. No, can you watch all Teacher No videos on? Oh, I was like, what are you saying to me, Mo? I was admiring Slider's shell the other day. It's just so cool. The way he's got the ripples in it, or like the swirls in it. As he gets older, because you could see the where'd he go? I think he went to the other side of the green screen, but kind of like a tree, his shell I don't know if you can exactly guess their age, but for tortoises, he starts off with a couple circles on his shell, and then as he gets older, the same circles stay there, but then they just have ripples around them, which lets them able to grow. Anyone else from class watching today? Okay, let's see. And a few extra squiggle lines, just because it's very Charlie Mackesy. All right, this is almost done. Then we'll let it dry before we start to watercolor it. I would be surprised if Charlie actually does the pencil sketch before. I think he probably is good enough now that he doesn't need to, and he probably, it seems like he would like the chaos or whatever, and just give it a shot before doing it. Okay. He also probably uses a brush when he's drawing, as opposed to only a quill like I have. But that's good enough for us today. And okay, we're gonna let this guy dry, and let's do our karate break. Okay. All right. So for you, those of you that don't know me that well, I used to teach martial arts in Clifton, New Jersey, and this is actually me at the school that I took karate lessons at, and it was a mix between karate, judo, and jiu-jitsu. It was called Goshindu martial arts, and I started there when I was really young, like 7 or 8, and then when I got older, I ended up teaching there, and so they called me Sensei Noah instead of Teacher Noah. And so we're going to play a game that I used to play with my students there called Sensei Says. And it's same as Simon Says. So if I say Sensei Says, then you do the move. If I don't say Sensei Says, then I just say do the move. Don't do the move, or else you'll be out. All right. So we're going to start off with the kicks, and then the blocks, and then the attacks. So we'll have 3 rounds. All right. Here we go. So if anybody is still sitting down, I recommend that you get up and that you get to moving just a little bit, just so that you can stretch out your body a little bit, and this will help your art for sure. Okay, here we go. So just stretch a little bit first. Stretch your arms. Pull them back like this. I'm finally able to do these stretches now that my collarbone isn't broken. Rotate your head around. It's important to stay loose when you're drawing, and also when you're doing martial arts. All right, so let's do it. We're going to start with kicks. Ready? Sensei says front kick. Sensei says side kick. Sensei says back kick. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says back kick. Sensei says side kick. Front kick. Sensei says back kick. Sensei says side kick. Back kick. All right. If you're still in, great. And if you want to go for the second round, I'm going to speed it up a little bit more. We're going to add the blocks to it. Ready? Sensei says rising block. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says cross block. Sensei says down block. Sensei says parry. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says rising block. Middle block. Sensei says cross block. Sensei says side kick. Sensei says back kick. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says rising block. Sensei says down block. Sensei says rising block. Middle block. Sensei says down block. Parry. All right. Who's out? Did I get anybody out yet? All right. Let's try one more round. And this time we're going to add the attacks. Here we go. Ready? Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says middle block. Sensei says down block. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says heel palm. Sensei says hammer fist. Sensei says back fist. Shoot do. Sensei says shoot do. Sensei says ridge hand. Sensei says ridge hand. Sensei says vertical fist. Sensei says vertical fist. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says side kick. Sensei says middle block, down block. Sensei says front kick, back kick. Sensei says hammer fist, heel palm. Sensei says spear hand. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says back fist, middle block. Sensei says parry. Sensei says back kick. Sensei says front kick. Sensei says rising block. Sensei says straight punch. Sensei says heel palm, back fist. All right, did I get you on the back fist? I didn't say Sensei says. All right, let me know if you guys got out in the comments, and we'll go back to our drawing. Okay, here we go. Let me see if I can get this light again. Okay, nice. Okay. And I look so pink. That's so funny. Here we go. Wow, that's like a full-on filter. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to first erase our drawing, the pencil drawing. So grab your eraser. We're going to try to not smudge anything. Ink usually dries really fast, so it shouldn't be a problem. But there's some spots that probably haven't dried yet. I also use a brush like this. This was used, what does this say? Shoe brush, yeah, for shoes. And it helps so that I don't smudge the ink with my finger. Oops, yep, some parts are still dark. Some parts are still really dark, okay. I don't want to smudge it too much. Ideally, we would let it dry a little bit longer, but for right now, that'll be fine. Okay. Here we go. So here are my Winsor Newton watercolors. Still have my rag right here. We're going to use these squeezable watercolor brushes. So the trick with these is all you have to do is just squeeze and water comes out. So when we want to color these, now, also, Charlie Mackesy does not use a ton of color. He kind of sticks with maybe 2 different colors. So I think I'm going to stick with like a purple blue for the onesie, and then also a greenish tan for Slider's shell. Okay, let's try it. Yeah, got a little murky there in that area, so I'm going to pump it up with some more color, some more blue. All right. So I might need a little bit more purple, red, to make it more purple. Oops, that's really smudging. Okay. See it, and I have an old t-shirt that I use. It's like a dabber too, which will pick up some of the color if we make a mistake like that. All right. I got you out, Hadessa. I think the smudge is cool. Oh, nice. All right, cool. Glad you like it. All right. This one I'm going to mix some burnt sienna brown, some whatever this golden yellow is, and then also some of the light green. Because Slider really actually isn't green. He's definitely more brown. Let's see. And I like the subtle gradient that Mackesy has. Like when he does the fox, you can see that. It slightly gets a little bit darker. It's really nice. I'm going to try to add that in. Okay. All right. Now I like it. It's a little bit too, I feel like, uh, not aggressive, but like kind of aggressive, I guess. Let's see if I can show it to this camera a little better. Voila. Definitely the vibe. I'm gonna say, since we have some more time, if you guys are able to stay, we can try it one more time. Let's try something else. Let's try another scene. What I love is that he does really cool. I mean, look at this one. Let's do another drawing. And this time I think let's not do the pencil sketch first. Let's just go for it. This is really cool too. Look at, so he's got this really cool horse drawing, but then he also has this beautiful like winter scene, which I really like. Do you guys have any ideas for this next drawing? I really like this one too, how we did the clouds. And thank you, Sadasa. What do you guys think? What should we draw next? We have some time. Let's read some of these. Let's see. Nothing beats kindness, said the horse. It sits quietly beyond all things, kindness. Oh, this is really funny. Is that the moon? Asked the boy. It's a teacup stain, said the mole. Where there's tea, there's cake. Be curious. That's kind of a cool one. Maybe we should try to do something like that. Let's create a stain and then see what we can draw from that. Okay. I'm not going to create a stain, but I'm going to do some blobs with the watercolors, because I don't think we've done this ever in this class. My favorite is the boy in the tree looking out at the wild. All right, hold on a second. We got Catherine Augustine. We got Mrs. Augustine. Who's the real Augustine? I feel like this is already too wet. Let's try the boy. My favorite is the boy in the tree looking out. I think that, yeah, that's a classic shot. Like this one, right? So cute. Let's do that one. I think there's one with color too. Oh, that's Erica. Oh, gotcha. You guys are. The question is, who is M? Who is M? Where do you see M? You guys are so funny. All right. think I'm ready for the quill. Let's try it out. What's nice about doing these two is that they're so, I don't know, they make you feel like a real artist, because you're using like the traditional medium, of like a quill, which is just really fun. Okay. Let's see, I think I'm gonna do the Slider and me version of this. Half the people in the group are Augustines or Noah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, we got a new Noah in the class too. All right. Let's see. Whoa, look at that guy. He's totally. I'm gonna draw me and Slider, sitting on the branch. Oh, so guys, oh my goodness, I didn't even tell you. So Slider, he escaped the other day. I was running to get groceries, and I thought he would be fine to sit in the backyard for like a little bit, while I went and got groceries because I wasn't going to be gone that long. So I left him in the backyard walking around, and Slider, he went all the way through the house, out the front door, and onto the sidewalk, like past the driveway, and went into the street actually, and somebody came and found him. I was talking and I was at the dentist. How'd the dentist go, Noah? And Slider went into the street and almost got ran over by somebody, and fortunately they saw him and they stopped, and then the neighbors, our neighbors here, said that they saw somebody picking him up and that they were probably going to put him on the Nextdoor app. So they're like, yeah, check there. So I go on the Nextdoor app, like create an account, and quickly post like a missing Slider like picture. And the first picture that I found that had a good like view of what he looked like was this one where his eyes are like bugging out, so he looks like almost like somebody on the run, which is really funny. And fortunately, after like I was so worried, but then fortunately, the people saw my post and then they commented on it, and they weren't that far away, so we walked over to their house actually, and I almost forgot to draw Slider here. And they said, and so when I found him, when we went over to their house, Slider was just hanging out in the backyard with their little fluffy dog, and he was just like loving life. And they were so cute, the people that helped him, because they were like, we hope he's okay. They were like, we would love to like come and check in on him again. We've grown attached to him already. And that was so funny because that's Slider. I feel like he doesn't try at all. He just people just like him, and he just does his own thing, and somehow makes a ton of friends by not even being that cuddly or friendly. Honestly, like he's just living his own life, and people love him, which I love. And yeah, and of course on the way home, after I was like walking, I was like holding a huge tortoise. We're walking back, and Slider, like, so Slider, you want to see him again? Okay. You guys already saw him. Um, but he peed so much, and it was just like, whoosh, and I was like, I'm glad you didn't do that in front of your new friends. That would have been kind of embarrassing. All right, here's Slider. So cute. So big though too. So look at his shell. So if you look at his shell, oh man, he's so dirty. Okay, easy does it, bud. So if you look at his shell, all these little circles, these were all already here. Okay, yeah. Those little like the lighter circles were all there when he had his first shell. What's the matter, dude? Um, and as he got older, these rings came around them and kept on growing and growing. And as he grew, he would get another ring. So yeah, this is Slider. Um, he's huge. He's a sulcata tortoise. He's gotten so big, but when I so dirty. When I first got him, he fit in the palm of my hand. Like he was like really little, and so cute. Okay. And that was, I got dirt all over my stuff. He was just a little tiny tortoise, and he fit in my hand. And he's gonna keep on getting bigger too. Togepi arrived. Thanks. Yeah. Slide. Yeah. They're. I've learned a lot from that little guy. Just about slowing down in life and just. Also about I read a Buddhist thing. I think it was on a Netflix show about. I think it was like mental health or something like that, and they were talking about how the tortoise doesn't ever do anything if it's not comfortable with it, and it knows its own boundaries, and so when it's scared of something or something is threatening to it, it just whoosh, goes into its shell, and then it waits until it's ready to come out. And I kind of really there's something I admire about that, and that's totally Slider. Like, and he's been hanging out with a lot of the little kids recently, um, and they love him, and I think he really likes the attention and gets to eat a lot of food. But there's definitely a nice like little rhythm of how he interacts with them because they're a little scared of him and he's a little scared of them, and it's really great how it kind of like works out. Let's see if I can draw Slider's head in here. Um, yeah, it's great how it works out because I think they have a nice little blend of like knowing how to interact with each other. And also, he's such a sweetheart. Like, tortoises don't ever like bite unless they think that your fingers are food. So, as long as you don't do that, you're good. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see. How are you guys doing? Have you guys been trying to do the ink drawings, or what? I'm going to make an art picture like this, but with my dog. Oh, cool. Definitely send it in, Noah, if you when you finish it. All right, and what's cool is we didn't add any words, and Charlie Mackesy, who drew these, he really does do a good thing. Okay, so what should we say about Slider? What is there to say about Slider? Let's see. I've been drawing with paper and pen. It feels good to draw loosely like this. Oh, nice, Hadassah. That makes me so happy. Yeah. Just to kind of like let it just like bleh, like flow out a little bit, and not like let the lines kind of carry themselves a little bit. It's kind of nice. I agree. I'm trying to do the letters like he does. They're very interesting. Oh, that's rather light. What's your dog's name, Noah? I named Sliders his name because when I got him, he was sliding all around and he looked like a little hamburger. So I thought that would be appropriate. Do you guys ever have White Castle? I was trying to tell my family about this, and they didn't think that White Castle was that good. And I was like, no, White Castle's amazing. All right. I'm in the car right now, so I can't draw right now. Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, that's cool. You're listening to this in the car. Yuki. Oh, that's a cool name. Nice. What kind of dog is Yuki? Trying to not smudge this. Samoyed. What is that? I'll have to look that up. Okay, I'm definitely getting my hand inky, so I'm going to put this down first. There we go. Hopefully that helps. Okay. Oh, that's not. Okay. Samoyed. Let me look it up. What's a Samoyed? Samoyedate? Samoyed? Oh, so fluffy. Oh my goodness. This is what I got. Okay. These guys. Is yours a puppy or is it a full grown? Oh, he's with you in the car. That's so cool. All right, I wrote, sometimes you just need someone who you can sit and do nothing with. Sometimes you just need someone who you can sit and do nothing with. I feel like I've been so busy my entire life, always like working on projects and stuff, that sometimes it's nice. That's why I like hanging out with you guys. It's really nice just to, not that we do nothing, but not be in a rush. Slow down. He's almost one. Oh, I saw him pick you up from school yesterday. That's so funny. This quote in the book, he goes, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And the boy said, "Kind." It's really sweet. I wonder what Slider would say if he could talk. I feel like he has a lot of thoughts. Our birthday is near. Oh, nice. All right, guys, we're almost done. I'm going to finish this letter up, and then we'll wrap it up. All right. Oh, and I got to do some of that brown color for the tree. Also, when you have these quills, it's important to keep them clean as soon as you can, or as soon as you're done using them. Otherwise, they're going to get all crusty and hard, and then you'll ruin them. So we don't want that to happen. Make sure you close the ink as well, because that'll get crusty and coagulate, and then you won't be able to use it either. Ew. Oh, there's dirt on this from the slider. Okay. Your dog is so cute. Is that what you were saying? There we go. I'll try to show you guys on this front camera. There we go. There's the other one. I definitely like the second one better. I think that's the trick, is to not do a sketch before. Just let it roll. You could always do another one, I guess, too, right? All right, guys, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for hanging out. We did our painting. Now our challenge of the day, I want you guys to try to write yourself a note to yourself in the Charlie style, telling yourself what you value about yourself. So if you want, if it helps, you can write it from the perspective of your pet. Like, what would your pet say about you? I think that would be really sweet. And yeah, try that out. Thanks, Dasa. Yeah, so definitely try that out, please. I would love to see what you guys think that your pets think of you. I think pets are so loving already. That might be an easier way to value something of ourselves than trying to think of it ourselves sometimes. If you guys want to send me some of your work, teacher Noah, teacher.noah on Instagram, and noahfontana@gmail.com, which I think both of the links should be in the bio too. You guys are so welcome. If you had fun and you liked it, thumbs up and subscribe. You can donate too if you really liked it, and you could also comment below what you guys want to draw next episode. For next episode, we are going to be drawing the voices in Heathers. Now, I'll explain it more next week, but we got suggested to draw these ladies, the voice Heathers. See you next week, Hadassah. But this one is kind of interesting because this is almost like the negative voices. So today we're doing positive voices that we hear. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to draw out the negative voices in our heads sometimes, and maybe put a face to the name or the words that they say. So, all right, I will see you guys next week. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm gonna have to do some research and probably watch the movie or the show too. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.